welcome everybody. I am Bonnie Bruder and you're watching the AskBonBon Show, real conversations about what matters most, where we bring you the people and the tools to create you. Today we are talking about a very important topic, and that is mind shift and how having a different mindset and shifting your thoughts in your mind can truly create different results. And we have an expert on this topic, but before I introduce you to her, I want to tell you a little story. Pina is somebody I've known for many, many years. We used to do production together for one of the training companies that I worked for, so I knew her well. We had worked very long hours, very tight conditions, and then all of a sudden on my Facebook about 2 years ago, I saw these photos and I was a little bit confused because I pulled them up and here was this gorgeous girl, this blonde hair, looked like a supermodel, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. I thought Pina DeRosa was the girl that I've been friends with for all these years and work with, and I was literally so confused, and I kept pulling up her photos and like, but it looks like her, but it doesn't. And I almost even emailed a coworker to say, what in the world is going on here? I'm a little bit confused. And then I figured it out is what happened is Pina had a mindset shift, and she made a huge transformation in her life and literally tricked me on Facebook and looked like a different person. Not that she wasn't gorgeous before, it just was such a drastic shift both in energy and appearance. So that is why we had to have her on the show today. And Pina, welcome to the show.
I didn't know that. You almost unfriended me. That's great.
I
Wait,
don't know
it's
you.
not her.
It was just so confusing because I knew it was you and we had mutual friends that
Really?
you were posting with,
That's
but it was such a drastic change. So congratulations.
Thank
you look
you.
amazing.
You know, I went to pick up my mom at the airport. She walked right by me.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, what?
So tell the viewers about your story. What brought on such a drastic shift?
So I recently ended decades of dieting, stopped the emotional roller coaster and lost a little bit over 50 pounds. And literally it was one of those, enough already. It was time for me to get my body back. I'm 43 years old and I feel like, not that I lost my body at 18, but I went through a traumatic experience during my first semester in college. I was date raped. And since then I felt like being healthy and fit was the road to being in danger, because when I was healthy and fit, I got myself in a situation of a rape. And so subconsciously, maybe, I don't know, consciously, who knows, I put on a whole bunch of weight so I could still be friendly, but not be in a situation where I could have, unwelcome come-ons and
the interesting thing, just as a friend and someone that has, observed both sides, it's that I would have never thought, like I was shocked when you said you lost 50 pounds because you didn't look like someone that had 50 pounds to lose, but yet your appearance now is so different. Like you definitely, your energy, you're putting it out there. And so how did you come across a shift, what made the difference between decades of dieting and kind of up and down and losing, gaining to where you truly just said, okay, that's it, no more, I'm through?
Well, there was always a silent resignation within me because I had this pair of hands that I had only worn once, black velvet hands when I was 18, moved to college, and I always had them in all my closets. I'm now 43, and I wasn't able to wear them for like 25 years. To me, that was like my victory pants, and I know that every time I tried them on and I couldn't fit them in, there was just like, ugh, like this. And I think what made the shift was that being in my 40 now, I have different tools than when I was 18 or 19 or even in my 20s or 30s when we're learning to deal with life.
Sure.
I thought it had been handled, so I wasn't even looking there. I just knew that when I would step on the scale, because I was trying to lose weight. After 180 pounds, I stopped counting, honestly. But I was trying to lose weight, and when I would lose the weight, I'd step on the scale, and normally you'd go, yay, 5 pounds, or whatever, even yay, 2 pounds. And internally, there was this red flag that would go, oh, shoot. And I would feel danger, but I didn't know why, because I never even connected it to that. I never even shared it with anybody. I just, in that moment when it happened, I said, never again. I can never be this friendly. I can never be this fit. I can never be this open. It's only going to get me in danger. So I shut down emotionally. I shut down physically. I was still there, but I felt like I was dragging my body around. And I think the difference was when I stepped on the scale right around when I turned 40 and I realized that red flag was on again, I was like, what is that? And with the personal development that you and I have done, you know that when there's something that is underneath it, that makes all the difference. Only this time I had the tools. That was the difference. Like, oh, what is that? And I started to address it. And by starting to address it, I realized that I was afraid to being healthy and fit. I wasn't afraid to lose the weight. I was afraid to be in danger again.
Interesting.
So I had to shift how to be healthy and fit and being safe.
Yes.
And in that moment, because I was already eating healthy and exercising, I was pretty conscious. I was going to, all the good habits, but I wasn't losing the weight. And if I was afraid. So in this case, I was like, oh, it has to be subconscious. And it's funny because that's the work I do with my clients. I work with patterns that they repeat, that they don't know how to stop, that they wish to stop so they can regain control. So I guess it was just my turn.
Right.
And
yeah, well, they say you teach what you need to learn most.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating, though, because, again, you're in this world where you have information, it's nutritious, but it a lot of times is an emotional connection, an emotional block.
Because when you're eating healthy and exercising and you're not losing weight, like it was in my case, I knew there was something underneath it. I just didn't know. It's kind of like I could be the best brain surgeon on the planet. I'm not going to operate on myself.
Right.
So it was one of the situations where I realized I had to take my whole toolbox of the tools that I use in clients and speaking and so on to someone who does the work that I do and work in partnership with them so they could have a perspective that I wouldn't have because I'm in the water. So I can swim, but I can't see where.
Sure.
And that's really what made the difference. Then the tools of eating healthy, exercising, the right intensity of training, when to eat, what to all of that then made a difference. But oftentimes it doesn't because we don't have that shift underneath it at the level of the why. We have the what, we have the how, but if we don't shift the big why, and that's what the book is really about, because people were asking me, wait, how did you do this? And I'm like, yeah, there's the how, there's the what, but it's really the why that makes the difference. And helping people to get to that why, then everything that they're doing, really, it just pays off.
Right. You can't do one without the other. And that's
it's all interconnected. Otherwise, it's top of the mountain, back down, top of the mountain, back down, top of the mountain, back down. All of us. And it's like, oh my gosh,
so
enough
tired
already.
of hiking. Yes. And you have a book showing.
I do. I never thought I would have a book. Miss Bonnie, you get the first copy.
Look at this body. She is my ab model. I had a different ab model on my vision board, but I think I'm going to cut that out now.
Okay, I'll give you this is actually, this is when I first saw my results, not with a book, but when this photo was taken. Because I never thought I'd write a book. I just was taking photos as a celebration of being able to wear my black velvet pants again, my victory pants.
Sure.
And I saw this photo and I was like, wait, what? And it's not retouched. I saw it literally on the screen as the photographer was doing light testing, and that's when I first saw the results, and I was like, what just happened? Kind of like, yeah, because I had seen myself for 40-some years with the same body,
right?
Like about a few decades with the same body, so that seemed foreign.
Yeah, and again, it's like one of those transformations where you're like, you're a cute, attractive girl, even when I met you. I mean, and then all of a sudden you see this, and it's like, this is so confusing, but awesome. How'd she do it? That was my next thought was, wow, I really need to find out the how and the why, because this is extraordinary.
Yeah, and I feel like, if I can do it, and I went through so much trauma. I went through early menopause at 38. And I went through decades of up and down. So if I can do it, and I'm no special girl, I was always chubby, I was always a chubby kid. So if I can do it with all of that, truly the message is anyone can. And that's what this Pay It Forward is. That's really all it is about. Like,
sure.
Seriously, if I can, anybody can.
Yeah. So we had a nice date yesterday. We brought our dogs to Central Park, and we had some really great conversation.
Wellington had a cute date. Miss Ginger is so sweet.
I know. It was so amazing. And we had some great conversation about coming from that mind space of, now people meet you, and you have a book, you've done all this stuff, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, easy for you. Look at you.
Oh my gosh, I'm starting to get those comments. Well, easy for you. Look at you. And I was like, seriously? You think that the body, the fitness, the minds, everything just happens? It doesn't need to be hard work, but it is work.
Sure.
It's consistency.
So how do you, if you're someone that's watching this and they're feeling more like they're kind of the old you and they need to make a change, whether it is a nutritional or a weight or a why change, what steps would you encourage them to take?
First of all, look at your area of pain. For me, it was a silent area of pain, and really recognize it. That's the first thing. Because I knew it was there, but I wasn't really addressing it. I wasn't recognizing it. Because I thought, I've always been pudgy. I've always been Italian, curvy. So that's my thing. Nobody really had ever seen me in a fitness level. That's why the book actually came, because my mom and my sisters started asking me questions. How the heck did you do it? So first of all, I say recognize it. If there is an area of pain, just be aware of it. The second thing is reach out to someone, because obviously if you're in it, you may not see what other people see. So reach out to someone, whether it's you as a coach or any coaches out there, who can ask you through questions ways to see things differently.
Okay.
And then the third thing is what I think really made a difference is be willing to do something that you've never done. Because in order to get the results that I needed to get, I needed to do something that I had never done before. A lot of people, when clients that I've worked with, sometimes are like, oh, but this doesn't feel like me. Good. It cannot feel like you, because if it doesn't feel like you, you've probably already done it, and you've gotten the results that you want. You need to have different strategies if you want different results, because the results that you have, you don't like right now. So if it doesn't feel like you, good, you're in the right path.
Interesting.
And then I think the intensity of training, the intensity of what we eat, when we eat, all of that is definitely in the book. But the first of all is recognize, reach out to someone, and be willing to do something you've never done before.
Okay.
Based on what that coach says.
Sure.
So listen to body.
So thank you. Now, tell us about that. Like, what is your current program? How do you, eat and shop and prepare and train? How often? It feels like when I look at something like that, I have a relatively healthy lifestyle. I eat well. I go to the gym. But I look at that and I was like, oh, God, I'm going to have to live at that gym. But tell me.
I did for a while. Live at the gym.
Okay.
But to me, it was because I'd lived in my own other body for 20-some years, I was willing to live at the gym for a few months in order to have the rest of my life with the body that I needed to have back. The New Hollywood is a women's philanthropy goal group that I'm part with, and we created something. Brianna Brown is the founder, and she actually wrote the foreword. And we created something that is about people getting their body back, whatever their body is. It doesn't need to be abs. It could be balance. It could be peace of mind, whatever your body is. So be willing to do something, and then creating accountability, creating support, creating partnerships with people.
Fantastic.
To be able to really get your body back.
Good. Well, how can people find you? If they're watching and they think I need to make a change like that, how can people get in touch with you?
There's a free gift that you can have with the book if you go to giftfrompina.com. It's pinaderosa.com. To complete that particular question, there's different phases of what to eat and when to eat. So I describe it in the book. It depends on what phase you're in. But yes, you may need to live at the gym for a little bit.
That's okay.
But then you'll have your body for the rest of your life.
Fantastic.
The results are something you can keep.
Well, great. Well, congratulations. You look amazing. Your energy is fabulous. And it's such a joy to reconnect with you. And I know this will be the first of many doggy dates in the park and having you on the show.
Yes.
But congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. It's can I tell you one last thing that's the best thing that came out of this? I'm now touring schools with date rape prevention and awareness. So I think out of everything that came out, like the abs, the hair, the whatever, that's all external. But actually being able to pay it forward by going to schools and speaking on date rape prevention and awareness, to me, that's my favorite part that came out of the book. Because out of that trauma is now helping other people, hopefully not having to go through that.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with that and with all that you do.
Thank you, Bonnie.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. We will be right back with another amazing author.